How y'all doing? It's Brother Brian back again. Once again, you gotta excuse me. I know I ain't shaved. I've been working and doing some other stuff, but that's neither here nor there. But I'm coming to y'all today because what I gotta say it just feels so good to the soul to say it. And it's funny how when you're doing something, how when you in something, you can't see it, but then you look back years later and you gotta really see it for what it was. And I'm not gonna be too long with this message, but I just had to share this. But today I just want, me personally, I want to thank God for all the closed doors. All the doors that I tried to go through that he closed in my life. And I think y'all need to thank him too. This right here, this don't have anything to do with whether you're a Christian or not, whether you're a believer or not. Even though I believe in the Lord, I believe in Jesus, gave my life to him. But I think this is just really for everybody. That and I was just thinking today and I was meditating, really for the last few days, I was just meditating on how if God would have allowed me to get what I wanted, I'm 100% sure I wouldn't be here to talk about it right now. If God would have allowed me to actually enjoy selling drugs when I was in Chicago, I know I wouldn't be here right now. I'd either be dead or in jail. But I knew it wasn't for me, and I wanted better for myself, which is one of the reasons why I moved to the South. If God would have allowed me to be successful in my rap career, because I was real good. I could still get down if I want to right now, but if God would have allowed me to be successful in my rap career, I know I would have been destroyed. If he would allow me to get a hold to all that money and fame and the women and the jewelry and the cars, the alcohol, the drugs, I would have destroyed myself. And right now, I would probably be sitting in hell somewhere. Because it would have been, I'm not saying it's 100%, but more than likely, I'm almost sure that I would have been so deep in it that I would have destroyed myself. If it would not been from probably getting shot or something, getting into it with another rapper, because right back then too, I had kind of a temper, and I lose it and black out and do something, then come to him and regret it. So, if it wouldn't have been, beefing with another rapper and probably getting killed, or if it wasn't for, the excessive use of drugs, weed and alcohol, or even cigarettes, or that could have took probably was gonna take me out, or if I had a whole bunch of women, who said that wouldn't have took me out from catching something. But now that I give my life to the Lord and I look back, I thank God he didn't give me what I wanted. I thank God that no matter how hard I tried to be successful with rap music, with hip hop, I thank God he shut that door. Because if he shut that door, I would have never gave my life to Christ. And even after I gave my life to Christ, I tried to kind of venture back into that. And even though I kind of backslid, he still had mercy and grace on me. And he shut that door and didn't let me be successful in that door. And I even tried to, be a producer and make beats, and it was just too tedious for me. And he shut the door on that too. So I'm thankful today for the doors that God did shut, and we all need to be thankful for the doors that God shut. Because I know if he'd let me walk down that door, rap, and be successful, I'd have been completely destroyed. My soul would have been lost forever. And it's a lot of y'all right now who y'all probably disappointed because y'all didn't get that job, y'all didn't get that car, y'all didn't get this, that, and the third. But let me tell you something. Maybe God didn't give you that job because, yeah, it probably made good money and it's probably what you wanted. But even though you wasn't paying God no attention, he still bestowed his love and kindness upon you because he knew what you don't know. He knew that if you was going to take this job, that you could potentially meet somebody at this job, get into a relationship with them, thinking that it is what it ain't, and this person mess around and give you some type of fatal disease, and now you out of here. See, God, he know this type of stuff. We don't. We have a tendency to think we know it all, but we don't. And you probably sitting up mad and bitter and angry. And we all been there one time or another in our life. We all wanted something. It didn't happen. And we don't understand why. And then we thought it was good and it was just going to change our life. And it's the one thing that's going to make us happy. But the whole time, God's looking at us like, even though they ain't paying me no attention, they ain't studying me, they ain't seeking me, they ain't asking me for guidance, I love them so much that I'm not going to even let them open this door. Because if they open this door, they soul going to be lost forever, or they going to mess around. And as the Bible say, get caught in the snare of the fowler. If you don't know what that is, that's a trap, like somebody who professionally set up traps for birds, for the fowl of the air. And God looking at it. And the reason why I keep saying we ain't paying no attention, because Some of y'all are not believers. Y'all don't, believe in Jesus and all that. So that's why I say this is for everybody. But, the Bible say, God say, I'm even good to the ungrateful. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of times we think we want something and it look good. As the saying goes, everything that glitter ain't gold. You know what I'm saying? But, and God is like, they don't know what lies ahead. If they take this job, if they move to this city, this such and such gonna happen. And we sitting up whining and crying, not knowing that God mercy done kept us from potentially destroying ourselves. You may want it to buy a certain type of car, and you was disappointed because you didn't get it. It looked all good on the outside. You went to the car. When you went to the car lot, you got in the inside. The interior was plushed out. It was everything you wanted in the inside. Car looking good, smelling good. Even when you test drove it, it rolled good, but you just couldn't afford it. Well, some just didn't feel right, but you was sitting up, like I say, whining and complaining and angry that you didn't get it. But God closed that door, because who knows that the car looked good on the outside, but God knows underneath it was a lemon in the trap. And that a couple weeks after you done rolled it, it done been rigged up, and you was going to be on the interstate and the brakes done went out. And you was going to kill yourself and your children, or kill somebody else. So God stopped you from getting it. So that's why I'm saying we just need to be thankful for the doors that God closed. When people walk out of your life, I know it hurt. We all hurt. We human. And even if we know that they was bad for us, or it's still, when you attach to that person, it's still a hurtful thing because you're human and you still got feelings. But you got to realize sometimes when people walk out of your life, or when a job fire you, sometimes that's a blessing in disguise. It's been times where I've quit a job or something like that, and it was just clear it was just time for me to move on one way or another. And instead of me being sad that I didn't have a job no more, I actually felt relief, because it was a blessing in disguise. I felt freedom. So, we just got to thank God that sometimes he closed these doors. We think we know what we want, but we don't know. We don't know the road that's ahead of us. And I just, I wrote some things down because it just felt so good when I was just thinking about it, how good God is, that we think we know it all, but he protects us from ourselves more than anybody. We like to say, well, it's the devil, it's the devil, it's the devil. The devil made me do it. But a lot of times, the devil wouldn't be able to even tempt us with some of the stuff if we didn't let him, if we didn't give him that foothold, if we didn't allow him in our space. And so when God be saving us, he be saving us for ourselves. He be merciful to us, saving us and rescuing us, because we are our worst enemies in most of the cases. And so I just thank God that he didn't let me be successful at certain things in my life, because if he would have, and I'm kind of skipping, but I use rap music, but I heard this one girl talking about how she was trying to live for the Lord, but she was a beautiful woman. I don't really know exactly who she is, how she look. I saw her on YouTube. I was looking at a sermon one day, or a message that she was doing, and she was talking about how, I guess, she real pretty, and people were saying she needed to be in modeling, but she turned it down because she was like, she knew that if she would have got into that world, into that modeling industry, she'd have lost herself and lost her soul, because of the money and the fame and the prestige, all that stuff that come with it. She was going to be so deep in it, and it was going to overwhelm her, that if she wanted to come back out to the Lord, she probably wasn't going to be able to. And that's not to say, sometimes we venture off into something that we're not able to come back for it, or, if you just go down this road, you're going to automatically be toast. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying God knows. And a lot of times he don't give us what we want because we don't know what lies at the end of the road. And it could actually be something good, but anything that you abuse or you put before God, it becomes an idol. Like a lot of people that work for the government that make good money and got power and stuff, that's a good job, good paying job, good benefits. You got power, you got authority, you can, you with the movers and the shakers. But to a lot of people, that working for the government is an idol. They live, breathe, and die for the government before they even do that for God. They put the government, before they put God, and God the one that blessed them with the job. That's how crazy we are. That's how a lot of people, if you read the Bible, that's a mistake they make. They worship the creation and not the creator. God the one blessed you with the good job, but you idolize and you worship the job, and you don't worship the God that did it. Me personally, I kind of got an infatuation with the sun. I love the sun. But when I look up at the sun, I be looking at how beautiful the sun be, especially like if I'm at a beach or something, or it's sunrise or sunset, and I just see how beautiful the sun is. First thing I say is, Lord, it's beautiful. It's just so beautiful and amazing. I'm admiring His creation, but I'm at the same time, I'm acknowledging that I'm not worshiping this sun. I'm admiring it. I worship you. You the one that created it. This sun that you made is the expression of your beauty, God. I'm not finna bow down and worship to the sun God. I don't believe in no sun God. It's one God, and that's the great God, Jehovah. And Jesus is the Son of God and the Holy Spirit. It's the triune God. It's Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. But a lot of times we make the mistake of worshiping the things that God gave us instead of worshiping the person that gave it to us. Okay, you got $500,000 in the bank. Your business blessed. You doing this, you doing that. But you don't give glory to the person that blessed you with it. You idolizing that thing. You putting that thing before God. That thing has become your God. So that's why you can't just go off. It's a lot of people who right now, who, they got some influence, they got power, they got prestige, they got money, and they think that it's God's blessing, and God ain't nowhere near them. God's so far from them, and they think that just because they got these things that God is blessing them, and God ain't got nothing to do with it. They don't have no relationship with God. And they so wrapped up in getting their way and getting what they want that they can't see that God ain't nowhere near them. And if God draw on their heart, they probably can't hear Him because they so indulged in something that's not necessarily bad. Again, I keep saying, you probably can do what you want to do, but not all things are beneficial. Like Paul said, not all things are profitable. Like I say, you can get a government job. You could be a gospel singer and get caught up in that. And get to just, making songs for the money instead of using the gift that God gave you to help souls become saved and to allow the Spirit of God to move on people so they may be saved and to minister to people. You can get caught up in that. You can get caught up in preaching and ministry and use that as an idol instead of worshiping God. You could use ministry as a means just to make money. It happens all the time. So I went over longer than I wanted to, but I just wanted to, just let y'all know that we all need to thank God for the doors that He didn't let us walk through, for the doors that He closed. We may not understand it, but a lot of times it's God's grace and His love and kindness looking down upon us saying, look at them, look at them, look at them. They think they know, look, they think they do. No, I'm not going to even let, because if they go down this road, then they're going to be at the point of no return. They're going to be so deep in it that when I draw on their heart to come to me, they're going to be so deep in it, they're not going to even hear me. They're not going to even recognize that's what I'm doing. So they could be saved and they're going to be lost. So God done saved a lot of us from ourselves, and y'all need to thank Him for the closed doors. Y'all need to thank Him for not letting y'all be successful at some of the stuff that y'all attempted to be successful in. And you just got to change your perspective and realize that that's called grace, and that's called mercy, and that's called love. Because I know for a fact, if God would have continued to let me be a little gangbanger, a little dope dealer, if He would have let me continue to especially be a rapper, I'm pretty sure I'd be dead right now. One way or another, I'd be dead. I wouldn't be here right now. And I thank God that every time I tried to open that door up and rap, no matter how many shows I did, it just, no matter, I remember one time when I had to work, I think it was on Easter, and I was with a rap group, and we had got the word that somebody important, like a manager from Atlanta somewhere, was supposed to come check us out, and if he liked us performing, he was going to give us a deal. This back in the days when everybody was searching for deals. Everybody, they do their own thing on YouTube now, but this back when everybody was searching for a deal. And so I had to work that day, so I had to make a decision. Do I want to go to work and miss out on this opportunity, or do I want to go and let this dude see us and potentially be set for the rest of my life? So I decided I wasn't going to go to work. I ain't call off. I ain't do nothing. I just didn't go. Went to the little event that the man's supposed to be at. Not only did we not perform, he didn't even show up. And so now I'm dealing with, man, I got to go back and I done lost my job for nothing. I got to go back and explain this to my woman. And so the next day, I'm not even thinking I'm finna ever go back to work. I'm thinking I'm fired. My manager called me like, you late? Is you coming to work? I'm like, yeah. So I'm thinking, okay, it's a setup. They finna call me in to fire me, or they finna say something. Man, this was almost over a decade ago. To this day, nobody ever said nothing about me skipping that one day. when I got to work, it was just like I wasn't even scheduled to come in that day. And to this day, I know it had to have been the Lord's grace that allowed me to keep my job so I can help provide for my family. Nobody said, why didn't you show up yesterday? Nobody said nothing. It didn't even come up. Like that day didn't even exist. So, I just want to tell y'all, just thank God for the closed doors. All right, I'm out.